Welcome to the How to Write a Book podcast, the show that helps you plan, write, and publish your book, even if you're a beginner or just feel like one. Now, for your host, she's written over a dozen books and helps others bring their books to life. Here she is, Massiel.
Excellent. All right. Welcome to the How to Write a Book podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, Monica Fernandi. Hi, how are you?
Yes. Good morning, Massiel. I'm great. Happy it's spring. Happy, beautiful day. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Happy spring. I think this is so great. I mean, I didn't even know it was spring until you mentioned it right now. and I think that your book that we're going to talk about ties that in so beautifully, revival, rejuvenation, being with the earth. That's amazing. So for everyone here, Monica Fernandi is the author of Open Your Presence, A Simple Method to Find Calm in Chaos. And you also have an ebook. So this will technically be your second book. Is that correct?
Yes, you count the ebook, which is a little short Cliff Notes version, if you will. Diving into the bigger book, which has been years, as you know. I don't know, some people write a book quickly. Mine took a long time, 5 years or so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember we were already friends and you were working on your book and I saw it and you told me we were possibly going to work on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have at that time. There was so much going on, but I am so happy to see it now on awakensoulmate.com. And it looks gorgeous. Everything's about it is gorgeous. Please, why don't you tell us and tell everyone here, what is your book about?
Well, let me just tell you that I am an empty nester. My kids are raised, and the ability to write and take my mother's legacy, who did not get published before her passing, was truly a very big emotional task. I knew that I was a writer long ago, but I didn't have the courage and confidence till I worked it and became a blog writer, and then that rolled into this ability. The book came to me as a inquiry for people who had been taking my classes. Long story short, fitness instructor for almost 20 years teaching yoga. And in that fitness realm, I created a method that was as a result of being a yoga teacher and the number 108 sun salutations. We did every first of the year. We did 108. Everything was 108. And I inquired as a yoga teacher, why? I'm that person that needs to know the answers and the drive behind. Why are you writing a book? So this thing became, and this is my book. When you get it or read it, you'll see the methodology started just like yoga as a physical thing. People come to yoga to get more flexible in the physical. But the book, people wanted me to write a book and draw the pictures, make it a yoga book, right? And put your 108 method. So the 108 is a sacred number. And then the methodology behind it became a workout. And it was 108 arms, 108 legs, 108 abs, 108 cardio. And that's all on my other website, monicafernandi.com. So for 7 years now, plus, I started that. And then the book was put on the back burner, long story short, as I was about to push it out. I went to a publishing, how to publish your book workshop free. And in that, the leader, the woman that spoke, was going to Mount Everest Base Camp to raise funds and awareness for clean water accessibility with World Hope International. And this is very, very, it was a turning point for this book because I was going to get it out quickly, right? And then go to this fundraiser, which I didn't say yes to, by the way, right away. I brought it home to my beloved. He was like, I want to go to Mount Everest Base Camp. I said, wait, no. I was going to find out about publishing a book. And then this woman decided to ask me to come on this big adventure. And that year we went and I put the book on hold. My coach recommended that I, don't rush it, Monica, maybe embellish your book. So the book is now a trilogy of the pandemic, the biggest mountain that we all have to face of change, the methodology, which was the initial reason why I was writing the book, the 108 method, and why do you do 108 abs and arms and so on, the depth of that. And then the third mountain in the trilogy part of it is this life-changing view of the summit herself when I went to Mount Everest Base Camp and thought I was going to die. So that's basically this is the gift to the reader, because we've all been there. In the back, and my book trailer even says, have you ever felt like uncertain and confused and chaotic about your life? I mean, yeah. Then, so when you open your presence, which is being, just be for a moment, breathe. Do it right now with me, everybody. Breathe in, Massiel. breathe out, right? That present moment is all we got. Yeah. And that's how we give ourselves grace. And the tools in here is to give you grace. It's a journaling. It's a 2-part. It's a very non-intimidating size. The reviews even say, I wrote it for the purpose of the readers, not to be intimidated and put it off. So it's to implement one step at a time for you. Whatever you're dealing with, the mountain that you're facing, the presence of, okay, I can do this. The arm opening cover, for example, versus a smaller, what would be the opposite would be a fetal pose, right? Fear. This is acceptance. Right. I am ready for that mountain. Yes, bring it.
Yeah.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And actually, no, I'm really glad you said that, because I actually forgot to do the whole, kit and caboodle of introducing you and asking, about your past and how it got you to this point. So
that's okay.
I mean, that was wonderful. That was great.
Good.
I think we already had the conversation going, so that was excellent.
Thank you. Yeah. And, I started with the fact that I am an empty nester because most of my coaching clients are in the second half of their lives. We provided as women, we provide still, we carry the weight of the world, and it's slowly changing collectively. And pandemic taught us a lot of life lessons, both individually and collectively, for the purpose of evolution, our human species. And so the difficulty that we face in raising children or paying bills, and right now in the world, lots of that struggle. And that's who I coach. I coach the people that are thinking that they're alone in it, and you're not. And let me tell you, let me walk alongside you. An awakened soulmate came to me, Massiel, during a meditation in 2020, because it was about an awakening happening globally in the world. And we're all souls walking together here. Let's walk alongside each other and not be sleeping anymore. Basically, that's how it started.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh. And I already felt the difference. Like I was, kind of putting my arms out, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Kind of like feeling the
immediate
body.
Immediate.
Yes.
Immediate. Changes yes, it's immediate, because this is like when you give a high five. In fact, there's a I forget the woman's name. There's a book out there. I think it's called The High Five Method. It's what I teach also for the coaching people. Raise your arm up in the morning and greet yourself with a high five in the mirror. Yes. And then in yoga, this opportunity is an inversion for your arms. The analytical, your blood is going from the veins back down to your heart. So this is a good thing, and it changes your energy, your cardiovascular system, your everything. Right. Bam.
I love that. I mean, that's, it's a great way to start in the morning and say, hello day. Yes.
Yeah. Raise it up. Open up your eyes and your arms. There it is. Woo!
Oh, I love that. I love your energy. I mean, and I've known you for a while now. I know this is your energy. You bring positive, vibrant energy. Okay. Well, let's talk about the. Oh yeah, of course. So you said that your book, you're going in to find out how to publish a book, and then you walk into this conference. You come out saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go mountain climbing in one of the hardest mountains." So I'm curious, what was your mental state, when you arrived there, for the conference first, and then when you published your book? Was there a difference in how you perceived your book, your writing, any changes?
Yes, good question. It was a mountain, if you will, to face. I had never written a book, and as we all know, with anything that seems like, if we take, for example, weight loss at the big number, I want to lose 100 pounds, and we start looking at that number, we are somewhat intimidated, and we don't know what first step to take to lose 2 pounds, right? So let's back it down. Yeah, I was intimidated. I looked at this book writing like, this is something that I never really truly used the words, excuse me, I can't write. I never said that, but I didn't know where to begin. I knew, and I raised my hand and said, you know what? I need help. I needed to know how to publish. That woman who did go with me and led us to this inquiry of this fundraiser truly was life-changing. And now I give back to World Health all the time. My 10% of my proceeds goes to that, because they save the world with, clean water everywhere. But she truly had written already 2 books, and she helped me, guide me, give me some advice. I knew I needed a book coach. I knew I needed an editor. I knew that I needed help walking up this mountain, whether those sticks of hiking sticks, literally, which is, You can't climb a mountain that's got rocks on an incline and a steep hill without the tools, right? So I did all the things, and even hired people through the platform Fiverr and Upwork to help me get the book videos out and everything. And I asked my own coach. And so, I just knew that there was a team. It takes a village, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then to hold this baby in my hands, when I got it in the mail, I was like, "Whoa, I love it. Feels good. Smells good. Looks good. Wow." And the guy that did my formatting, actually, Trish helped me find him because he had like 500 5-star reviews as a book formatter. So he was my guy, and he did a fantastic job. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I talk about Trish all the time on my show.
Okay.
So everybody's familiar with Trish. Yeah.
Okay,
Speaking of ratings, I mean, you have 5 out of 5 stars out of all your ratings on Amazon. How does that feel, as somebody who's, going for such a deep place, knowing that your message is resonating, all the hard work you've put into it? Please explain to me in words, how that impacts you.
That's great. It's mind-blowing, as my husband likes to say, when we can't conceptualize the gifts within us that really do need to be open, right? The present moment is a gift, right? This presence in you is a gift. And when I touched into getting quiet in order to get these gifts out, because these words are not my own, right? They come from another, whatever your faith is, God, divine. And I believe that's art, right? Art comes through. How does one see out of a block of marble, right? Chisel, whittle, and find it. It's within you, but we have to peel back the layers, Massiel. And that's where oh my gosh, let me think about this. I'm on Amazon now, and I'm also in where all books are sold. And it's like, pinch me. Did this really happen? And my children are so proud of me, almost as much as I did when I did get to Mount Everest Base Camp. They actually thought that one of them was worried I was going to die. And I said, "I have to see you before you leave." But this book, to achieve it, and now I'm still being that in my book. I encourage the readers to tap into their voice and tap into, it's okay to ask questions. And I love these questions you're asking me, because we fear, I don't know the answers, so everybody's going to judge me. And so we hold back. And I believe in learning something new every day, and ask the directions, and so asking for guidance, asking for help, and not being afraid to raise your hand. I got off the tangent a little bit, but I think that answered the question.
That was great.
Yeah.
I would love to know more about, this your method of asking, was there a point in your book where, like, specifically that you're like, this is huge, and that doubt started to creep in, but you overcame it? The reason I'm asking is because, we touch a lot on like mental hurdles in the show. So it's about facing those big roadblocks, but still, overcoming. Was there a specific moment like that for you?
Yes. And it began with my first business of the fitness industry, which rolled right into, I want to say snowballed right into the coaching, because truly I've been coaching my own processes and my own, we self-talk, and we could really beat ourselves up. So we have to watch our thoughts. It's a 3-step method, which is not uncommon, but we forget to use the power of, let's say, 3s. The 3 is the thoughts. What are you thinking in your head? What are you believing to be your truth? And then the emotions that causes you. I mean, it's everything that the sage masters and the wisdom of the ancient, those that walked the earth thousands of years ago. Let's understand why we do what we do. And taking action is the 3rd thing. So if your thoughts leads to your feelings, leads to your actions, which is 108. 108 methodology is how I rolled it into, let me not intimidate the reader or the student or the client. Let's take it one step at a time. You are one of a kind you. There's nobody else like you, but you are part of the one collective human family. And so when you peel it into, wow, I'm not alone in this one moment, your richness comes alive beyond conceptual mind. And it's something that not everybody's ready for. When I said before asking, I said I got off on the tangent, I remembered there's the thought, it came back. asking still, almost a year later now after this book was published, asking, please take a moment and review, right? I know that you as a podcaster and all those others out there with podcasts and books, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? As I say.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ask, you shall receive. So giving yourself that, it's okay to ask and reach out and get the answers, whether it is even therapy, mental health accountability. So, and then the 108, the 0, and I break it down in the book, and I don't want the reader to skip to chapter 1. My editor was like, at the book opening, which was virtual, the launch, please make sure you read the intro, the preface, and the foreword, because all of that sets you up to giving you this as a tool. So, Massiel, science shows that if we can go to a course in one day, our brain can only truly come away with 3 things that we might remember, because otherwise it's trying to process. So I go back to my fitness 3 things, which is the ABCs. And that's how we all learned how to read and write, right? We started with the ABCs, right? Mm-hmm. And that is a similar correlation to the 108. So in this one moment, you have a choice to choose an attitude of gratitude. That's the A is attitude of gratitude. Mm-hmm. And the B is for breathing. Go back to take a big breath. Take a big breath in and out. And that gives you a what? A burst of energy. It changes your energy. Yes, it gives you, don't get me wrong, people. I love my coffee, but that gives you that bolt of energy, oxygen. And that's the B is for breathing. And the C, ABC, right, is for courage. Courage to go out of your comfort zone. Take action. This is how the 108 grew out of its sister, if you will, ABC. The attitude, the breath, and the courage is your thought that leads to your feeling, leads to your action. It's only 3 steps, really. We can do it. We can do it.
I love that. Yeah, no, totally. And I love how you just really summarize, your book's message a little bit there, but also, giving us that immediate response. You're like, wow, you feel a difference. How many times do we forget to breathe? Just a,
yeah, right.
Oh my gosh.
Girl.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that. Oh my God. Okay. I know. We're getting it. I love that. So I would love to know also, we talked a little about like publishing process. We talked about your mindset before you started writing and during your writing. What was it for you sitting down to write? You have such a powerful message to share. You're there at the computer or the notebook. How did you go through that process? Walking yourself, getting help, things like that.
I took a couple of free webinars. I found some sources and resources. And of course, again, peeling it back, because overwhelm can really push us to taking no action or procrastination. That procrastination is because of overwhelm and so on. And this is why we need a coach to keep us accountable. So I had a book launch coach, and I had a business coach, and I had a confidence coach. And these were my people that I had to, show up for, not just myself. And as you know, maybe you actually have to schedule. And maybe when you coach your people, scheduling my writing was hard, because I would pick up a book. And Trish also said, don't read any other books while you're in this process, because what happens is we go to comparison, right?
Yeah.
And I do have a library probably of 108 books that are spiritual. The books, the genre that I've always followed are the self-help and inquiry and spirituality and so on. So my books are plentiful, and I had to not look, and I had to stay in my lane, as my therapist would say, stay in your lane, Monica, and sit down and schedule it. If it's not scheduled, it's not real. So the process, oh my gosh, can I share with you? I don't know. This is probably normal for the first book. All right. I have 7 chapters. Every chapter had at least 6, if not 7 drafts. Is that normal?
Oh yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. I've on this show, we talked about like people who have like 26 drafts, more than 26 drafts. That was the most I've heard so far. So wow. Fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah, it was good to have an editor. And then, she was good both because for me, she didn't have any knowledge of my spirituality background. And this book is a tool that it's not religious, it's not yogic, it is yogic premise. At the 108 is the mala bead. Here I'm wearing this mala bead here. Can you see that?
Oh,
This is
nice. Yeah.
this is the mala is it means it's a prayer garland bead. It's a prayer bead, like a rosary bead. And I speak of the difference between my Catholic upbringing and this Buddhist logic, and why I latched onto this as a theory and a concept. Thank God for my editor, because she was like, well, if I know nothing about this, I need you to take it down so that I understand it. Right. So she made me realize, oh my gosh, I'm giving too much information. When I did my research on why the 108 is such a sacred number, it's not secret, sacred number in the Sanskrit writing, just as many times as the number 40 is in the Bible, 108, this research, and I've researched for years, she said, just make it, simplify it, right? So that's, thank goodness, editors, you're awesome need, right? Thank you.
Love it. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. I mean, editors, I feel like that's one of the, you just going in, you're just cutting and dicing, but what comes out is, beautifully pruned words. That's amazing.
Yeah. And another thing I will share with you is I also did, during my writing drafts, which was on the laptop, I did audio, and I went in as a tool and just did my voice on the phone.
Oh.
So, and I use that. My book is not yet audio recorded on Audible, but that's my goal this year, to get that out there for people, because it's an interactive book that requires the writer, or if you're going to journal, the second half of the book is writing, and that's kind of not an Audible application, but I am still going to put it out there for those that choose not to do the journaling and just want to listen to the book.
Oh, that's awesome. So you recorded the audio already for like your people can grab this, or it was you?
No, not yet. It was just for me to hear it to get my brain into understanding where I was going with the messaging from a different perspective. So as I coach people, hear yourself talk, right? A lot of my exercises that I give for coaching is write a letter to yourself and then read it out loud. When you hear that part of your brain, it wakes it up from a different, I'm not using the scientific term right, but it's definitely a different benefit. It's definitely a benefit.
Oh, I love that. That is amazing. No, that's great, because I talk about that as well, like on the show, which is like the importance of reading out loud, just so you can hear the differences.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so powerful. Because you speak one way and internally you think you sound a different way. And then when you hear it, you're like, that is not what I was trying to say, or I hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yes. Truly amazing. The speech versus the reading, and the way our brains comprehend.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah, amazing.
Yes. Because I love the vibe that you have. I love how you're putting everything of the writing process really into something that people can see, which is this mountain. It's the mountain, but you're on the other side of this mountain. What would you say? What would you tell like writers, aspiring writers? They're looking at this huge mountain. You mentioned it a little bit, but I'd love to know, what would you tell them so they can climb the mountain?
Well, it's interesting because one of my coaching clients who came to me over a year ago after a heartbreak, because originally my coaching clients were those that were going through transitional stages after divorce, after death with a widow situation. And then what happens is they really awaken to their own love of their life, themselves, their presence. But when this one particular woman came to me, and now she's evolved and grown, and now she is actually writing her memoir, and she started with me doing the coaching process because I wrote the book and had the processing under my belt, so to speak, but it's just the first of many. I intend to do more, like you. So she, I encouraged her because she kept saying, I'm not a writer. So I gave her some tools, basic tools. And, we as I like to say about yoga too, come as you are. People used to say to me, I can't touch my toes, Monica. I can't come to your yoga class. I'm not flexible. So that thought, which is a lie to themselves. And I say, please, no, if you can breathe, you can do yoga. And I'll say that to those authors out there that are thinking about writing a book. I also love this phrase. It's going to hit you hard here, but don't die with that book in your heart. Don't die with that song in your heart. Get it out on the paper. We are not promised tomorrow. Life is full right now. That's why Open Your Presence is about taking action in this moment now. As Nike says, just do it. So how, Monica, how? Well, reach out to me, reach out to Massiel. She does the whole book processing. And I think yours is over 6 months. Everybody's different. We're all different. Where I was already writing for a newspaper. I was contributing. I was using that muscle. And so my background at that time was different. And I had the capability, thanks to getting coaches, to move up the mountain. And so I'm here to say, keep going one step at a time, which is my 27 Secrets ebook starts with, by the way, 27. Just a side note, 27 Secrets is my book title. It is a quarter of 108. 108 divided by 4. So the 27 Secrets is volume 1. And the first secret, friends, is one step at a time. Give yourself grace. Take this advice and listen to your heart and sit still in the moment and then listen to your own guidance. We all have this inner GPS, but we listen to so many other. So podcasts are great, informative, but sometimes I got to give myself a timeout because my brain has to process. And so the book, even though it's almost a year old, it's still my methodology is going to be forever how I pass it on to the legacy of those that come after me, right? So keep on going. Start here, one step at a time. Have faith and reach out to get help if you need it. We got it, right? We got you.
We got it. Yeah, we got you. Oh, I love that, Monica. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. You got it, girl. We're all in it together. That's it. We are.
I love this. Yeah. And we're probably close. I think actually I'm already over the time. I'm sorry about that. I'm dragging you out here, but we're going to meet again. I would love to have you back on the show talking more about this, but then also we're going to hang out on Instagram soon. So
yes,
that's
thank you. And I love that. I appreciate this connection. And after I come back from the retreat, which I'm doing in April for yoga and coaching, I'm spearheading this retreat for the anniversary of the book, but also to celebrate you all. If you want to come, there's a few spots left. It's April 14th to the 19th. And it's in the Sierra Nevada mountains of Colombia. I went last November, and it is my third mountain range that has touched my heart and soul. The ability to get clarity. When you come back, you will start fresh. You will hit the ground running. You'll have healing, whatever it is that your mission is. So I think once I come back from that, we'll have to follow up again and do another one of these. So I'm going to come back. This is my big, hairy, audacious goal of these retreats. So I'll be going back again next year. And if you haven't seen the pictures, please check out the pictures are worth 1,000 words of Santa Marta, Colombia for this retreat of a lifetime. That's all I'm going to say.
Amazing. Yes. And then of course, let's remind people, where can they find you? Where can they find your amazing book? Where would they go to? Websites, social media handles. Go ahead.
You got it, girl. Awakened Soulmate 108 is Instagram. Awakened Soulmate 108 is my Instagram handle. AwakenedSoulmate.com is the coaching page with the retreat information and how to contact me. And there's blogs and testimonials about coaching. Monica Fernandi, FERNANDI.com is my fitness page that also has blogs. Because as we all know, whether you are going to write a book or lose that 100 pounds or get out of that toxic relationship, it all starts with growing your strength from within, which is my subtitle of my business page, Monica Fernandi. Start today, friends. This is it. It's spring, girls and boys and men and ladies and everybody out there. It's time to plant the seed to grow through adversity, one step at a time. So I think I gave it all. MonicaFernandi.com, Awakened Soulmate. Yep. And Facebook, of course, as well. So I look forward to chatting with you all again.
Beautiful. And that's for everybody. Open Your Presence, A Simple Method to Find Calm in Chaos by Monica Fernandi. 5 out of 5 stars is going on. Y'all check it out. Amazon and all the other platforms. So Monica, we'll jump off right after this, but thank you so much for being on this show.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, girl.
You opened my day already. Beautiful.
Opened my day. Let's end with a big arm raising high five.
I love it. Thanks so much, Monica.
Gratitude. Bye, love.
Hey there, writer. Thank you for listening to the How to Write a Book podcast with your host, Massiel Valenzuela. If you like the show, we'd be happy if you left a review. For more information on writing and the writer's life, go to www.themassiel.com. That's www.themassiel.com. We'll see you on the other side.